Hello, this is RADACAD from RADACAD. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can implement something like this, that you have a from date and to date in your transaction table in one table and one date slicer to filter transactions that falls in that selected range. Let's see how this is possible. I have previously explained that if you have a situation that you have both from date and to date, one situation is that you can create two separate slicers, one connected to your from date, another connected to your to date. You can change the range in a way that looks like one slicer. That is one solution which doesn't require coding. The solution I'm explaining today requires a little bit of DAX code. It's not that much complex. It's simple, but it is a little bit different. We will have a date table that filter this table based on the two fields at the same time. So first of all, you need to have a date table. This date table, you can create it using Power Query script or the DAX script to create date table, or just as simple as creating calendar using calendar or calendar auto function to create it. I have links to all of these methods in my blog article. The link is down in the description below. Check it out and get the script to create this date table. So I've created this date table. When you create the date table, it is also important that you mark it as a date table, as you can see here. And also it is important that you go to the File, Options and Settings options in Power BI. Ensure that the auto date time on this file is turned off. As you can see under data load current file, the auto date time is turned off. Now some people prefer to do that generally, so all of their Power BI file is disabled auto date time. That is also a possible option. But for this example, would be good to do it that way anyway. And I have explained all of these in another article and video, explained what is the default date dimension in Power BI, what is custom date dimension, how to choose what. Again, link is down in the description below. All the more details normally goes to that article link down in the description below. So I've created this date table. Now the key thing here is that this table should not be related to your transaction table. In this case, I have an employment history table. Let me just show you what that data looks like. Employment history table looks like this. Very simple data set. It has a from date, to date, and the employee and the role that they have and their status. Now, I did not create any relationship to this date table. Now, this is pretty much against all the rules that you probably heard in terms of Power BI modeling principles, because in modeling principles, relationship in Power BI is critical. When you have relationship, you can have tables filtering each other, and this is against that. And the reason for that is that there are actually two fields here, from date and to date, that you want to filter. Your date field cannot be connected to both of these at the same time, because you cannot have two active relationships. It creates an active relationship, then you have to end up with creating role-playing dimension, which means you create one table for a start date, one table for end date, which is the method I explained in another article. Go and check it out. In this example, however, I'm explaining to use just one date table to filter both. So we wouldn't have relationship. Instead of having relationship, we would enforce that filtering using DAX measure. Which is a simple thing to do, but it's quite a useful pattern. So no relationship here. Then what I'll do is I'll go and create a slicer with the date field coming from my date table, the table that has no relationships. And this is a table visual that has all fields from employment history. So at the moment, if I change this, it wouldn't filter that table at all because there's no relationship. Now, I have written one measure. This has to be measured because it's dynamically resolved based on the selection of range in Power BI. So you have to go to the modeling and create a new measure. This is the code of that measure. Again, the code is accessible through the link down below. Once you get the code, there are two variables here I used. It's pretty simple code. Two variables. First is finding what is the start range. Second, what is the end range. This is giving me the start and end range here. I could have even showed it in a card visual and you could have seen that it is actually showing the range from, for example, this date to this date. Then in the return, I have a simple if statement. It just checks that the from date and to date be within that range. From date to be after, to date to be before, and also not to be blank. That is what the last criteria is. You can customize it based on your need, of course. And the selected value is that because it runs in the context of every row in that table, it gives us the from date and to date of that single row. So if I add this measure in the table visual, it looks like this. For every record, it shows 0 or 1, showing that is that record falls in this range or not. For example, if I change the range or make it slightly bigger, you can see that these 3 records, for example, their start date is, the from date is after this range start, and their end date is before this range. So fits fully in this range. So then all I need is basically use this in date range measure as a filter. I just showed it to you how to show how it works. Basically, you don't really need it in the table visual. I'll just remove it from table visual. All you need to do is to bring that into this area that it says filters on this visual. You can add that in here. Just drag and drop it here. And then your configuration should say it is equal. We don't have is equal, we just have is 1. Because when it is 1, it means that it is in that range. Apply filter. And you can see this is actually filtered. So I don't really show that measure here, but the filtering works perfectly fine. I can change this range and it shows me all records within that range of selection. Of course, you can customize it. Your rule might be slightly different than this, but this is how simply it can work. Now, sometimes you might say, I don't care if the start date is before this period, as long as the end date is in this range, I'm fine with that. In that case, you don't really need this measure at all. You can just create a relationship based on your end date, because your end date is the one that filters the whole thing. Or if this, for example, for your start date. So you need to find that right type of filtering that works. This pattern that we don't create a relationship but filter is based on a DAX measure is quite common pattern. I have some other examples of similar patterns, something like subscription or ticketing system, HR system. All of these, I explain these in different articles and videos, and the link to all of those is down in the description below. I hope you enjoy studying those too. If you like this video, go ahead and subscribe into our YouTube channel. We have weekly videos on Power BI. Thank you.